due to the skill crisis that's happening in a lot of European countries. In this video, I'm actually going to talk about one of the countries that you barely hear about in the media nowadays, which is called Norway. So Norway is actually in need of international staff. Norway is one of those countries that you don't get enough information about. But in this video, I'm actually going to tell you everything you need to know to do in order to move to Norway with your family. Yeah, you can literally move to Norway with your family after watching this video. So in this video, I'm actually going to go through how to get the job that can sponsor your visa, your work permit, and for people that are actually looking to move to Norway for school. If you don't know, Norway is one of those countries that allow foreigners to study free of charge. So yeah, let's just go to the first point. So why would you want to move to Norway in the first place? So at the moment, there's over 13,000 jobs just for foreigners at the moment. So 13,000 free jobs that the Norwegian government is looking for foreigners to come fill out this position. And there's like a skill shortage in Norway at the moment. So skills like IT, skills like tourism, skills like construction, skills like nursing, oil and gas. Norway is the biggest producer of fish. So it has one of the biggest fishery industry in the whole of the world, but they do not have enough staff to take care of all of the different sectors of fish. That's from catching the fish to transformation of the fish and importing the fish to every single European country in Africa, Asia and America. This is all done in Norway. So at the moment, you're looking for foreign staff to help them in the crisis of this fishery industry. Norway is also known as one of the safest countries and one of the healthiest countries to live in the whole of the world. So they're actually encouraging people to move to Norway with your family. If you do not know, Norway have one of the best healthcare system in the world, and Norway is one of the many Scandinavian countries that are known to be like the safest countries in the world. They are known to be the happiest countries in the world. So Scandinavian countries are Finland, Sweden, Norway, Iceland and Denmark. So all of these countries, they are the main countries in Europe, and some of them aren't found in the EU. Like for example, Norway is not found in the EU, and I personally think that's one of the best things that could ever happen to that country, not being found in the EU. If you do not know, anyone that have a permanent residency in Norway or anyone that's living in Norway, they have the same rights to move to all of these different European countries, all the EU countries and the EEA countries. Why? Because Norway, same like Switzerland and some countries that aren't in the EU, signed a treaty with all these European countries and the EU countries to allow free men of movement of the people that have Norwegian permanent residency and people that have Norwegian passports. They can move and work in those EU countries. And also, when it comes to people with EU nationality, so if you're in the EU, any of the 26 countries that are actually found in the EU, you can actually go to Norway as well and work. You do not need to sign anything, you do not need a work permit, you do not need anything. But once you're in Norway, after 3 months, you have to register in the police for them to know that you actually came to stay instead of just coming for holidays and moving back to your home country. And when it comes to education, Norway is one of the countries in the world that have free education. Yeah. If you do not know, I mean completely free education. Primary school education is free for everyone, for foreigners and non-foreigners. Secondary school education is free for everyone, for foreigners and Norwegian. And third level education, which is university, is actually free as well for everyone. Up to last year, 2022, it was free tuition fee in all of the public university of Norway, until this year that the Norwegian government actually introduced a tiny fee for international students to pay. But if you're not international, it's free. It's free for EU, it's free for a lot of different countries. But the tuition fee that was introduced just in 2023 is actually so tiny because of the high influx of people that was moving to the country. They just wanted to introduce a tiny little bit of fees just to sustain the universities in Norway. Norway is also known to have one of the highest salaries. Yeah, I know I've been talking about countries with high salaries like Switzerland, like Ireland, like Luxembourg, and every single one of the Scandinavian country. I'm actually going to make a video about all of them. That's Finland, Sweden, Denmark. I did a video about Denmark, and today Norway. They're the safest and they have the highest standard of living and the highest salary in the whole of Europe with Switzerland. And if you do not know, most of these countries with the highest standard of living, the safest countries, they are not found in the EU. And that should be a bell, that should ring a bell in your mind. Why is it that all of these countries with high standard of living, with high salary, aren't found in the EU? Because there's something, if you're not found in the EU, you've got a lot of benefit that people in the EU don't have, and vice versa. That's why England actually left the EU as well, because before England joined the EU, it was assumed that England had a way better standard of living back then compared to now. So yeah, Norway is one of those countries that aren't found in the EU, but is one of the countries that you should actually think of moving to, especially if you have a family. For all the people that have families in Norway, you get maintenance allowance from the government to take care of your family. You get free healthcare for every single one of your family. So if you've got 10 kids, you got free healthcare. If anything happens to them, you just have to go to the hospital and it's free of charge. The government takes care of this. And you've got a lot of days for maternity and paternity leave. So in Norway, if you're on paternity leave or if you're on maternity leave, you get paid your normal salary. If you were getting paid like 50,000 kronos, that's Norwegian kronos, you get paid the same on maternity leave and paternity leave. There's no changes in your salary. So yeah, they actually want a lot of family to move in the country, because at the moment the total population of Norway is just 5 million. Yeah, the population of Norway is not that much. Why? Because they're not in the EU, so it's not easy for people to move in the country, so your population isn't that high. But if you're into any of these category of jobs that I named before, you're welcome. You're going to welcome you and your family, sponsor everything you need, sponsor you, give you house for a couple of months so you're settled, then you can look for your permanent accommodation to stay in Norway. And when it comes to language, I know most people watching my videos are English speaking and some people are French speaking, but when it comes to language, all the Norwegian people are forced to learn English in school, primary, secondary school and university. So every single Norwegian in Norway is 100% fluent in English. So language wouldn't be a problem for you. So if you're in Norway and you can't speak Norwegian, you can always speak English and every single one understand English. It's not like some countries, like if you go to Poland, you speak English, they can't speak English. But no, Norway, if you do speak just English, every single one, every Norwegian understands English and they will reply back to you in English. If you do have a family, it's going to be easier for you even to move to Norway compared to someone that just want to move on your own. As I said, they're welcoming family because of all of the reasons that I mentioned in the video. Norway is one of the happiest country in the world. Norway is one of the safest country in the world. Norway is not in the European Union, but they enjoy all of the privileges that most countries in the European Union do. Norway have one of the best healthcare system in the world. Norway have one of the best social benefits, like when it comes to like sick leave, when it comes to maternity leave, when it comes to paternity leave, anything to do about your health and you not being able to work, the government will look after you for that. When it comes to immigration, anyone that's going to Norway to seek asylum, like all people that come from different countries and you're going to seek asylum in Norway, it's actually easier to get it in Norway compared to getting it in some countries like France, and getting it in some countries even like England that everyone is talking about nowadays. And please don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video for a lot of people to watch and a lot of people to know of opportunities like this. And see you in the next video, which is going to be posted up there.